Good morning, dear students. Welcome to Jatin Academy. Today in this class we will start important questions from chapter 3 of geography, that is water resources. So let's get started. Question 1. Give some facts and figures about the water resources in the world. Answer. 96.5% of the total volume of world's water is estimated to exist as oceans and only 2.5% exists as fresh water. 70% of the fresh water occurs as ice sheets and glaciers in Antarctica, Greenland and the mountainous regions of the world. Less than 30% is stored as groundwater in the world's aquifers. Question 2. Explain how water becomes a renewable resource. Answer. Fresh water is mainly obtained from surface runoff and groundwater. This is continually being renewed and recharged through the hydrological cycle. All the water moves within the hydrological cycle, making water a renewable resource. Question 3. What percentage of global precipitation does India receive? Answer. India receives nearly 4% of the global precipitation. Question 4. Where is India ranked in terms of water availability per person per annum? By what year will India join countries having absolute water scarcity? Answer. India ranks 133 in the world in terms of water availability per person per annum. By 2025, large parts of India will join countries having absolute water scarcity. Question 5. Give an estimate of India's renewable water resources. Answer. The total renewable water resources of India are estimated at 1897 SQ km per annum. Question 6. Write 3 sources of fresh water. Answer. 3 sources are: 1. Precipitation, from rainfall. 2. Surface water, in rivers, lakes, etc. 3. Groundwater, water stored in underground aquifers, which gets recharged by rainfall. Question 7. What is water scarcity? Write the main reasons for water scarcity. 2015. Answer. Water scarcity means shortage of water. It is usually associated with regions having low rainfall or drought-prone areas. There are many other reasons which lead to scarcity of water. These are: large growing population means more water required for domestic use and also to produce more food. In the agricultural sector, water resources are being overexploited to expand irrigated areas and dry season agriculture. More water required for irrigation purposes to facilitate higher food production, i.e., for doing multiple cropping and for HYV seeds. There is greater demand for water with growing urbanization and industrialization. An unequal access to water among different social groups. The quality of water is deteriorating, i.e., getting polluted by domestic and industrial wastes, chemical fertilizers, and pesticides used in agriculture. Excessive use of water by industries, which also require water to generate hydroelectric power to run them. Overexploitation of water in the urban areas. Housing societies and colonies have their own groundwater pumping devices. This causes depletion of fragile water resources in the cities. Question 8. How intensive industrialization and urbanization have posed a great pressure on existing fresh water resources in India? Explain with 2 examples for each. 2012. Answer. Intensive industrialization and urbanization have put greater pressure on existing fresh water resources. With the ever-growing number of industries, the demand for water has grown tremendously. Industries are heavy users of fresh water, as water is required for cooling the machines as well as for the processing of goods. Also, the machines run on the power supplied by the hydel power plants. 22% of the total electricity is hydroelectric power. Rapid urbanization has led to expansion of industries, which increased the requirement of water. The untreated industrial effluents which are discharged into water bodies are polluting the water and making it hazardous for human consumption. This is responsible for creating water scarcity. On the other hand, multiplying urban centers with large urban populations and urban lifestyles have not only added to water and energy requirements but have further aggravated the problem by overdrawing the groundwater by using their own groundwater pumping devices for meeting their water needs for domestic purposes such as cleaning, cooking, washing, etc. Thus, water resources are being overexploited, which has caused their depletion in several cities. Question 9. Write the adverse effects of overexploitation of groundwater resources. Answer. Pumping out more water from under the ground may lead to falling groundwater levels. It will adversely affect water availability. This, in turn, will affect our agriculture and food security of the people. Impoverishment of water resources may adversely affect the ecological cycle. Question 10. Write the main causes of water pollution. Answer. Water gets polluted by domestic wastes, especially urban sewers. Industrial wastes are disposed of in the water without proper treatment. Chemical effluents from industries and from agricultural sector. Pesticides and fertilizers used in agriculture may get washed into rivers by rainwater and may pollute the water by enriching it with minerals. Many human activities, example, religious rituals and immersing of idols, etc. in the water also pollute water. Question 11. What is the need for conservation of water resources? 2015. Answer. Our water resources are limited and our requirements are increasing day by day. The water resources are unevenly distributed. Most of our resources, especially in the cities and urban areas, are polluted and unsuitable for drinking and other purposes. To safeguard ourselves from health hazards, we need to conserve water for the continuation of our livelihoods and to prevent degradation of our natural ecosystem. To ensure food security and for continuation of our livelihoods. For productive activities of the nation. To prevent degradation of our natural ecosystem. Question 12. Write some measures adopted for conservation of water resources. 2015. Answer. Measures for water conservation. Do not overdraw the groundwater. Recharge the groundwater by techniques like rainwater harvesting. Avoid wastage of water at all levels. Do not pollute the water. Increasing the water resources by tapping the rainwater in reservoirs, watershed development programs, etc. Adopting water-conserving techniques of irrigation, example, drip irrigation and sprinklers, etc., especially in dry areas. Sufficient water percolation facilities should be increased to help in raising the level of the water table. Question 13. What were the different types of hydraulic structures constructed in ancient India? Give examples. Answer. The different types of hydraulic structures were dams built of stone rubble, example, during Chandragupta Maurya's time, dams, lakes and irrigation systems were extensively built. Reservoirs or lakes like the Bhopal Lake of the 11th century, which was one of the largest artificial lakes of its time. Embankments and canals for irrigation. Sophisticated irrigation works have been found in Kalinga, Orissa, Kolhapur, Maharashtra, Nagarjunakonda, Andhra Pradesh, etc. Many tanks were built to store rainwater, example. The tank in Huas Khas in Delhi was built in 14th century to supply water to Siri Fort area. Question 14. How was water conserved in ancient India? Give any 4 examples in support of your answer. 2012. Answer. Archaeological and historical records show that from ancient times India has been constructing sophisticated hydraulic structures like dams, reservoirs, embankments, and canals for irrigation. For example, In the 1st century BC, Allahabad had sophisticated water harvesting system channeling the flood water of the river Ganga. During the time of Chandragupta Maurya, dams, lakes and irrigation systems were extensively built. Sophisticated irrigation works have been found in Kalinga in Odisha, Nagarjunakonda in Andhra Pradesh, Benur in Karnataka and Kolhapur in Maharashtra. Bhopal Lake, built in the 11th century, was one of the largest artificial lakes of its time. In the 14th century, Iltutmish constructed a tank in Hauz Khas, Delhi for supplying water in Siri Fort area. Question 15. What is a dam? Describe the functioning of dams. On what basis are dams classified into different types? Answer. A dam is a barrier across flowing water that obstructs, directs or retards the flow, creating a reservoir, lake or impoundment. A dam is the reservoir and not the whole structure. Functioning. Most dams have a section called spillway or weir over which or through which water will flow intermittently or continuously. Classification. Dams are classified according to structure, intended purpose or height. According to structure and materials used, they are classified as timber dams, embankment dams or masonry dams. According to height, they are classified as large and major dams, low dams, medium height dams and high dams. Question 16. What is the main difference between traditional dams and modern dams? Answer. Traditionally, dams were built to impound rivers and rainwater that could be used later to irrigate the agricultural fields. Today, dams are referred to as multipurpose projects, where many uses of the impounded water are integrated with one another. The main purposes served by these projects are irrigation, electricity generation, flood control, water supply for domestic and industrial use, fish breeding and tourism. Question 17. Why are multipurpose river valley projects called the temples of modern India? Who first made this statement? 2014. Or Jawaharlal Nehru proudly proclaimed the dams as the temples of modern India. Analyze this statement. 2013. Answer. Jawaharlal Nehru proclaimed that multipurpose projects are the temples of modern India because they were thought of as the vehicle that would lead the nation to development and progress. He believed that these projects, with their integrated water resource management approach, would integrate development of agriculture and the village economy with rapid industrialization and growth of the urban economy. Dams or multipurpose river valley projects have the following advantages. They bring water to those areas which suffer from water scarcity and also provide water for irrigation. These projects generate electricity for industries and our homes. They help in controlling floods by regulating the water flow. These projects can be used for recreation, inland navigation, and fish breeding. Question 18. Construction of dams on rivers has caused environmental degradation. Give reasons to support this statement. 2015. Answer. Damming of rivers affects their natural flow, causing poor sediment flow. Excessive sedimentation at the bottom of the reservoir. Lack of sediments results in rockier stream bed and poorer habitat for the river's aquatic life. Dams also fragment rivers, making it difficult for aquatic fauna to migrate, especially for spawning. The reservoirs submerge the existing vegetation and soil, leading to its decomposition over time. Floodplains are deprived of silt and khadar, affecting the fertility levels of the soil. Construction of dams also faces resistance because of large-scale displacement of local communities. Question 19. Multipurpose projects and dams have been the cause of many new social movements. Name to such social movements and write the underlying causes for these movements. Answer. Resistance to these projects came from social movements, that is, Narmada Bachao Andolan and Tehri Dam Andolan. Their major concerns were as follows. Initially, the environmental concerns were of utmost importance. Dams have resulted in large-scale displacement of local communities. Local people have to give up their land and livelihood. Local people do not benefit from such projects, as they are even deprived of the local sources on which they have little control. Many settlements and agricultural lands are submerged under water. Rehabilitation of the displaced persons is now the prime concern of these movements. Question 20. What are the social consequences of multipurpose projects? Or, multipurpose projects have transformed the social landscapes. Explain. Answer. Local people, especially the landless people, did not gain from these projects. It led to displacement of people which deprived the people of their land and livelihood. It has increased the social gap between the richer landowners and the landless poor. Dams created conflicts between people wanting different uses and benefits from the same water resources. Interstate water disputes are also becoming common with regard to sharing the costs and benefits of the multipurpose projects. Question 21. Explain any three problems faced by local communities due to the construction of large dams. 2017, 2013. Answer. Problems faced by local communities due to the construction of large dams. Dams have resulted in large-scale displacement of local communities. Local people have to give up their land and livelihood. Local people do not benefit from such projects, as they are even deprived of the local resources on which they have little control. Many settlements and agricultural lands are submerged under water. Question 22. Compare the advantages and disadvantages of multipurpose river valley projects. Answer. Advantages. They bring water to those areas which suffer from water scarcity and also provide water for irrigation. These projects generate electricity for industries and our homes. They help in controlling floods by regulating the water flow. These projects can be used for recreation, inland navigation, and fish breeding. Disadvantages. They have failed to achieve the purpose for which they were built. The dams that were constructed to control floods have triggered floods due to sedimentation in the reservoir. The big dams have mostly been unsuccessful in controlling floods at the time of excessive rainfall. These floods cause extensive soil erosion in addition to loss of life and property. Sedimentation deprives the floodplains of silt, a natural fertilizer. It was observed that these projects induced earthquakes. Floods cause waterborne diseases and pests. Results in pollution also. These river valley projects lead to large-scale displacement of people and lost livelihoods. Question 23. What percentage of total electricity produced comes from hydroelectricity? Answer. 22% of the total electricity produced is from hydroelectric power. Question 24. Name two multipurpose projects and the rivers on which they are respectively situated. Answer. Hirakud project is situated on river Mahandi in Orissa, and Bhakra Nangal project is situated on river Sutlej. Question 25. Give an example of an interstate water dispute. Answer. Krishna Godavari dispute. The Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh governments objected to the diversion of more water at Koyna by the Maharashtra government for a multipurpose project, as this results in reduction of downstream flow to Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh, adversely affecting agriculture and industry in these states. Question 26. Describe the traditional method of rainwater harvesting adopted in different parts of India. Answer. In ancient India, people developed wide-ranging techniques to harvest rainwater. In mountainous areas, gulls and pools, the diversion channels were built for agriculture. Rooftop rainwater harvesting was commonly practiced to store drinking water, especially in Rajasthan. Inundation channels for irrigation were developed in the floodplains of West Bengal. In arid and semi-arid regions, agricultural fields were converted into rain-fed storage structures, for example Kadins in Jaisalmer and Johads in other parts of Rajasthan. In semi-arid and arid regions of Rajasthan, particularly in Bikaner, Phalodi and Burma, all the houses had underground tanks or tankas built inside the house for storing drinking water. They were a part of the well-developed rooftop rainwater harvesting system. Question 27. Explain how rooftop rainwater harvesting in semi-arid regions of Rajasthan is carried out. 2012. Or write the features of the tankas built in the houses of Bikaner, Phalodi and Burma. Answer. Rooftop rainwater harvesting was commonly practiced to store drinking water, especially in semi-arid and arid regions like Bikaner, Phalodi and Burma in Rajasthan. In semi-arid and arid regions, all the houses had underground tankas or tankas for storing drinking water built inside the house. They were the part of the well-developed rooftop rainwater harvesting system. The tankas could be as large as a big room. One household in Phalodi had a tank that was 6.1 meters deep, 4.27 meters long and 2.44 meters wide. The tankas were built inside the main house or the courtyard. The tanks were connected to the sloping roofs of the houses through a pipe. The falling rain would travel down the pipes and get stored in the underground tankas. The first spell of rain would not be collected as it cleaned the roof and pipes. The rainwater from subsequent showers was collected. Many houses constructed underground rooms adjoining the tanka to beat the summer heat as it would keep the room cool. Question 28. Write how modern adaptations of traditional rainwater harvesting methods are being carried out to conserve and store water. Answer. In modern times, rainwater harvesting is done in both rural and urban areas to recharge the groundwater by capturing and storing rainwater by constructing structures, example, dugwells, percolation pits, digging trenches around fields, etc. Rooftop rainwater harvesting structures are a common practice in many cities. Rainwater is collected using a PVC pipe and is filtered using sand and bricks. This water can be stored to meet the household needs through storage in tanks. This water is readily available for immediate usage. Excess water or a pipe can be connected to an underground reservoir which may recharge the groundwater through hand pump or through abandoned dugwell. Later, this water can be drawn for varied uses. Storage tanks reservoirs are built to store rainwater which is later used for irrigation purposes. Question 29. Give a brief description of the Narmada Bachao Andolan. Answer. Narmada Bachao Andolan or Save Narmada Movement is an NGO, non-governmental organization, that mobilized tribal people, farmers, environmentalists, and human rights activists against the Sardar Sarovar Dam being built across the Narmada River in Gujarat. The movement originally focused on environmental issues related to submerging of trees under the dam water. Recently, its aim has been to enable the displaced poor people to get full rehabilitation facilities from the government. Question 30. Which village in Karnataka has earned the distinction of being rich in rainwater? Answer. In Gendathur in Mysore, Karnataka, nearly 200 households have installed rooftop rainwater harvesting system. Question 31. Name the state which has made rooftop rainwater harvesting compulsory. Answer. Tamil Nadu has made rooftop rainwater harvesting structure compulsory for all houses across the state. Question 32. When does water stress occur according to Falkenmark, a Swedish expert? Answer. Water stress occurs when water availability is less than 1000 cubic meter per person per day. Question 33. Name the unique irrigation system prevalent in Meghalaya. Answer. Bamboo drip irrigation system. Question 34. Name two states where rooftop rainwater harvesting is common practice. Answer: Shillong, Meghalaya. Question 35. What is the present condition of Indian rivers? Answer: India's rivers, especially the smaller ones, have turned into toxic streams. Even the bigger ones like the Ganga and Yamuna are slowly getting polluted. Question 36. Mawasyanram is the region of highest rainfall, yet it faces acute water shortage. Why? Answer: Mawasyanram faces acute water shortage because the rainwater harvested is not sufficient to meet the needs of the people. Thank you for listening this podcast. If you like the content, please like it, share it, and subscribe my YouTube channel.